Good evening and welcome to the second of two Beyond the Front Page programs tonight here at KU Community College for the fall 2018 semester. These are shows that are broadcast on Spectrum, Verizon Fios, the Auburn Regional Media Access, better known as ARMA, as well as WIN 89.1, the college's radio station. I'm your host, Guy Cosentino. Next Thursday at Sacred Heart, the 20th anniversary of Willard Chapel's annual Chef's Night will occur. Joining us in the studio to talk about the event and what Willard Chapel does are three members of their board: Maxine Alberici, who's been a long-time supporter of the chapel, their board president, Arthur Price, as well as Lisa Giacona, who is a member of their board. Welcome all to talk about Chef's Night. It is next Thursday. What is it? If somebody has never walked in the doors to Sacred Heart for this, what is it?
Well, it started out 20 years ago as a all amateur chefs. And we did that for 10 years. We had about 60 men around the community, one of them was yourself, who would make appetizers, soups, entrees, and desserts. And then the health department said we couldn't bring all this food in from outside. So we went for 5 years to Springside. Very thankful to Sean, who let us come up there and make soups and things that had to be made.
You had to be in a specific type of kitchen.
Yes, and he did all the entrees.
Okay, and so now you're doing kind of a mix.
Now
you're back at Sacred Heart.
We're back at Sacred Heart. They come in there, make their soup, and anything that's not baked in the way of appetizers or desserts. And then we have restaurants who are providing the entrees. And this year on board is the Auburn Ale House, making lemon pork. Osteria is making pasta with marinara sauce. Gusto's is making eggplant parm. Downtown Deli is doing stuffed meatloaf. Prison City Pub, pulled pork. Costa's mac and cheese. Elderberry Pond, chicken, wild rice, cherry tomato salad. And Balloons is doing lemon chicken bows and bow tie pasta. Okay? And then we have, from the patisserie, we have bread.
Okay, so I know one of your daughters was one of the waitresses last year.
Yes,
so,
both of them.
So how this operates is you come in and originally there's some appetizers. In fact, Jeff Perazzola a couple minutes ago told us what his appetizer is for next week as well. He still hasn't sent me the recipe, but that's a different issue. So people sit for the beginning of this where they can get their soup and that. Then is it buffet and then back to desserts, which are served to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So what time is this at?
Starts at 6.
And
the doors will open at 6.
Okay.
The appetizer, 12 guys making appetizers will wander around the room. There will be a bar.
Cash bar?
Cash bar.
Okay.
That you can get whatever you want to drink. And then at about 6:30, they will stop everything, close everything down, and they will do the planned part of the, and then after that, the waitresses will serve soups, and then they will direct the tables to come up to get the entrees.
And this goes to about, what, about 8:30?
Yeah, and then the desserts will be served by the chefs.
So how much are tickets?
$40.
And how can you purchase them?
You can go online, Willard Chapel.
Can you go to the chapel office as well?
You can go to the chapel office. They're open from 10 in the morning until 5 at night on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So last year was, I think, the first year where you recognized some community members, and wonderful. Dr. Stankus did he hit it out of the park, doing some recognition. Are you doing similar things this year?
Yes, we have 3 honorees this year. Maxine Alberici is one,
well
John
deserved.
Carnes, and Bernie Simmons.
So Bernie Simmons, a restaurateur who's been very supportive on a lot of community events, and John Carnes is with Carnes, excuse me, is a architect.
Yes,
and he's done a lot historic, which makes sense with the Willard Chapel.
Yes.
So so you'll recognize them. Is there, I also think last year you had a silent auction. Will you be doing similar things this year?
Yes, yes. We have a number of silent auction things.
Such as what type of
Some
things?
jewelry. Mackenzie Childs made a donation. We have, I believe, a couple of stained glass windows that have been donated.
Which kind of makes sense with William.
Yeah, and then we have
Comfort Tiffany, okay.
a basket for decorative items for Thanksgiving. We have, you may think of any of others.
All right, well, a quick question
yeah.
for go ahead. I wanted to ask you.
Some artwork.
Artwork on the
Tom
money goes to
Hussey.
the chapel.
Yes.
Great artist. Money goes to the chapel. For if anybody has not, who watches this, who has not been to the chapel, which I would find remarkable, tell us a little bit about the chapel.
Well, the chapel was built in 1893 by the Tiffany Interior Decorating Corporation. The interior of the chapel is a very unique item. It totally hand done, the interior by the Tiffany Interior business. Windows, floors, the pews.
This is
the
Lewis
altar.
Comfort.
Lewis Comfort Tiffany.
Tiffany,
That is,
okay.
yes, Lewis Comfort Tiffany. Yes, did all the interior work. And there's a large mosaic in the rear of the chapel that is one of the prized features of the chapel.
So is Chef Night your biggest fundraiser to help the chapel?
Yes, it is. Yes.
And do you do other events during the year?
Yes. Well, yes, we have Tiffany concert series.
Okay.
We have a book signing coming up on October 7th. That is Echo Heron. She will discuss her books on the life of Clara Driscoll, who worked her experiences and was a supervisor of the women's glass department at Tiffany Glass Company. She did a book on that, and she will discuss that book and sign her book at the signing on the 7th, October 7th.
Was part of the concert series, did that kick off the other day with Peter Mack, or was that a separate concert?
No, that was part of the series.
That's
part of it,
but
part of
That's
it.
part of the series.
And then do you do
we have one more coming up.
And do you still do house tours?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. Well, you got to
Yeah.
get somebody who's going to volunteer to make sure that their
Exactly.
house is vacuumed to start there. So, how much do you hope to raise this coming Thursday?
We should raise, I would say, in the neighborhood of $4,000 to $5,000.
And do you have sponsors for the event besides people who are not either restaurants or donating artwork? Are there corporate sponsors for this?
I believe just as they take ads in the
Okay,
book.
so people who take ads in the book.
So Bill Clark took an ad, and
Who's done some restoration
yes,
on the corner
yes,
of
yep.
South
Mike
and
Leone
okay.
and Bergen and Young.
So, how many people usually attend?
We hope for 200. That's about how many we can serve.
And you
seats.
still have tickets available?
We do.
Okay. So in the past, you mentioned I had done this before. You had some male chefs originally in the first 10. We always used to joke that the reason you had such success the first 10 years is because their wives did it at home and just gave the men to show up.
We don't
Really?
ask.
Yeah, okay. I was not married at that particular time, so what you got was mine, and the health department didn't come in. So do you still use exclusively male chefs for the the appetizers, the soups, and the desserts? That's up to them.
If somebody volunteered, I would take them. Melina Carnicelli made a soup one year. She said, I want to do it. I said, fine.
Okay.
You know.
Can you tell us of any of the chefs that you have this year?
Well, yeah, we probably
Okay, I figured you'd have a list.
Yes, we do. We probably have some that have cooked all 20 years or very close. She didn't give me that. Yes. I believe Bruce DeMalt has made his Italian cupcakes probably for all 20 years. And Tony Guicciardi is making apple pie, and he's also got one for the auction. And Bill Treat's making pies. Larry Liebertor is making something chocolate. John Alberici's making no-bake cookies.
I noticed you started with desserts first.
Oh, well, because that's the page that I opened up to first.
But you have a lot of community.
Yes, yes.
And are both of your boys participating this year?
Yes.
Yes,
Jeff
they-
is making
Not that they had a choice, but I was
pizza
just thought I'd
squares,
add,
yeah.
I would ask
Yeah.
on that. And I know John Klink has done soup in the past.
John Klink is doing, well, this year he's doing soup.
Okay.
He's done hors d'oeuvres in the past. He's making Italian fish cioppino.
Okay.
And
You're not going to get a bad meal is the point here. 'Cause
No.
You get to choose.
Jack
So
Brazak, Dan Curry, Dave Henry, Mike Herr, John Carnes, Bill Dean.
So I'm going to have to ask, what is
Ken-
Chief Curry making?
Dan Curry is
Dan.
making cabbage. You had to ask me that one. Chorizo, Chorizo. It's in a type of
Chorizo.
sausage.
I just chorizo for.
That's how the
for
Italians.
Chief. Okay,
I'm not Italian.
That's right. Okay.
just have an Italian name.
I just asked that with Chief Curry because.
Yeah.
How can people find out more about the chapel?
If you were to visit the chapel and get on the our website, there's a lot of information on our website. I know it needs a little updating now, but if you were to visit the chapel, we have a lot of literature we can give you. We
Okay.
can.
And you can walk during normal business hours of the chapel. You can walk in and just walk into the chapel and see the beautiful
Yes, you can.
Oh.
Well, from
No.
10 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Tour. You can
Tour.
pay for
You
a
can do a
tour.
tour.
You can pay
Yes.
for a tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a tour.
And in the past, you've had other organizations in there, literacy volunteers and others. Are there? Do you still have not-for-profits in the building?
Yes.
Who's still there?
Not literacy volunteers.
hospice.
Scat Van
Scat
and
Van.
Hospice has their store there.
Their store there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
And I
have
know
two
that's been
room.
there for a couple
Yeah.
of years. Okay.
And then what's the other one in the corner? Not Elko.
Nalco.
Huh?
Nalco.
Nelcor.
No.
Yeah,
So again, just real
Yeah.
quickly, people can go online. It costs how much per ticket?
$40.
You can go online, or you can stop in the chapel. Just look up their business hours to buy
Yes.
tickets there. You can buy tickets now,
Yeah,
But
right
they-
away.
but people should not necessarily wait to go to the door.
No.
Okay, so at some point you do sell out,
Yes.
and you can put tables of 10,
8.
8 together. We wish you luck on this. We just wanted to have you on to talk about what was going on. Yes, go ahead.
Can I mention one more thing?
Sure.
The cover of the program has been done by Phil Dell'Istrito, for all 20 years, with one exception when he was in the hospital.
Oh, that's great. And
And,
that's 12 Hamilton Ave?
This is 12 Hamilton Ave that he's picked. He picks old houses that have a lot of great architecture design to them, and does the cover for us every year.
Well, we encourage people to go to your event. We do want to thank Maxine Alberici, who's a member of their board, as well as Lisa Giacona, as well as their board chair, Arthur Price, for joining us to talk about Chef's Night. You can always come back on and talk about the chapel anytime. You can go to the event. Again, it is next Thursday, but as you may be watching this on Tuesday, it is Thursday the 4th at Sacred Heart Church, but you should go online or visit the Willard Chapel to find out more about how you can buy tickets. They're $40 per person. It is a great time. The food is delicious, and you'll have a great evening and mingle with a lot of great people there. On Tuesday, we'll be back with Inside Government, featuring Auburn Mayor Michael D. Quill, who'll give us a city update, including the recent award of $10 million through the DRI to the city of Auburn. Beyond on the front page, Cuyahoga County Tourism Director Meg Vanek, who is leaving at the end of the year, will be on with her board president to talk about the work of the Bureau and what their plans are for the coming years. Next Thursday on Inside Government, we'll have Business Improvement District Director Stephanie DeVito, who will give us an update on what is going on downtown, as well as about the BID's new involvement with managing the new visitor center that will open up in October. And on Beyond the Front Page, we will have Jim Van Arsdale and several members of his Perform for Purpose musical group, and some outtakes from a concert last night that some of those members gave for the telecom department here at the college. For the rest of October, we will have our annual candidate forums and interviews starting on October 9th and going through October 30th. The forums are co-sponsored by the Citizen. About half the candidates have agreed to participate, and we'll give you more details about that next week. Before we go, though, we would like to let you know that you can send us your ideas for guests or topics to cover to Inside Government or Beyond the Front Page. You can do that at cozguytho@aol.com, or by mail at Inside Government, 141 Dunning Avenue, Auburn, New York, 13021. I'm Guy Cosentino for KU Community College. I want to thank you for watching. We hope you have a good night, have a great tomorrow, and we'll see you back in the studio next Tuesday. And they'll tell you.